So the Reflect tab on Engage is a really unique space because it's not where we're consuming content. It's not like we're in conversations with a lot of people in the Connect tab, and we're not taking actions either. It's actually where all of our outward learning, our outward service goes inward, and we can start to intentionally grow in what we're learning from what God is teaching us. So the Reflect tab is basically a really great journaling system. So as you start to reflect on content items or actions that you take in the other tabs of the Engage app, all of those reflections get siphoned into our Reflect tab here. Now, sometimes you might want to just add a journal entry without it being from a content item or an action that you took. And how you can do that is going to the top right by clicking Add, and this is where we can title it and actually capture our reflection. But the great thing about this journaling system is that we also have different ways of measuring how important this reflection was for us. We can also determine if this is a strength or a struggle for us in this current moment, and if we also had an awareness of God. So as you go through and create journal entries and specify these different metrics, you'll be able to see some really valuable things when it comes to where you're processing things emotionally as well. Now, this is a fake journal entry, so I'm going to back out here because I also really want to mention these reflection questions at the top. If the idea of a blank page just kind of intimidates you because you're like, where do I start? How do I start a journal entry? I don't even know where to begin. That's totally fine. We have these reflection questions right at the top. There's 365 of them, and they stay there until you either skip it or you fill in an entry. And they're all designed to help us kind of have a prompt, a starting off point to look at different areas of our lives through different lenses. So if you're ever wondering where to start, the reflection question is a great place. Underneath this, we can see what we call our health triangle. So as we're starting to fill out journal entries and as we reflect more and more, we can start to see where those journal entries are getting siphoned into in our triangle. So I've got a lot here in loving relationships, but not so much in inspiring creativity. I can also see that inspiring creativity is a bit more of a strength for me, and loving relationships is a bit more of a struggle. And just a quick glance like that helps me understand where I can really intentionally give some more effort, or maybe trust God with my strengths, or maybe rely on Him more in my weaknesses. And I can also scroll down and I can see all of my reflection history as well. So this is how I can actually reflect on my reflections, a really valuable gift in actually being able to educate ourselves on ourselves while also learning how God's at work in our life. So maybe once you finish this video, open up the Engage app and capture your first reflection and start to see how God's at work in your life.